Neota,
Hello, Miri.
let's talk
Let's
about
talk
something.
about let's
Yeah,
talk about grounding in gratitude. Because
yeah,
when I talk about grounding, I'm talking about literally on my walks every day with my dog, taking my shoes off, putting my feet on the earth, and grounding myself, closing my eyes, coming into the moment and feeling a pause. I pause, I ground, I earth, and I start to intentionally focus on my gratitude. Tell me about what you mean when
so
you say grounding in gratitude.
yeah, so I don't do it physically.
Yeah.
My process is not as physical as yours.
Yeah.
My process is noticing, physically noticing what is around me, and then
Yeah.
internally noticing what I'm blessed with. And when I
Yes.
say blessed with, it's not me personally, but it can be like my friends, my kids, my family, the people I work with, and so on and so on. Of course, we can go deeper and deeper into, until we get to the water we drink and so on. But
And
as
you're right. We can go into the minutia of it, like the smallest of things that we find gratitude in. We can go into finding contentment in the smallest details of our lives. And we can take it out into the universe as far as we can. We can take it out into, the concept of us on this spinning ball in a Milky Way, which is one galaxy in, a, a limitless,
yeah,
so we can take it as small down, or we can take it as large out, or anywhere in between. And actually having a variety, like using not the exact same gratitude every day, but um, encouraging ourselves to even consider new things, consider new ways to feel grateful, something outside of our normal everyday lives, to to take a moment of gratitude.
I agree with you. And I think the most important part to start it is the pause.
Pause. Indeed.
And this is why sometimes it's so hard to do it because of the pause, because we used to, to be on the go all the time. And then
Yes.
when we need to, okay, what happened now and what are we focusing on? And really slowing down and pausing for a moment. And the slow down, um, I know we want to get everywhere very quickly, but slowing down will help us get
It
where we want to quickly enough.
absolutely. Yeah. Speaking of pause, can you just take a quick one right now? Can
I
you just
can.
hit pause for one moment? I'll be right back.
So welcome
So
back.
sometimes we put in our own pauses, and sometimes we have to pause for things in our lives. So carrying on,
Yeah.
uh,
So
it's perfect to take a pause. The thing is, Miri, it's so easy for us to stop and think when we are disappointed. It's so easy for us to stop when something happens that is unpleasant, or, pisses us off. It's easy for us to be like, oh, I'm just going to stop in this moment and feel, the anger, the slight, the disrespect. And it's so challenging for us to change that, to stop and pause when something small happens, something lovely happens, when something nice happens, for us to integrate that same response in reverse, to appreciate things that are lovely, saying thank you to people, appreciating, an act of humanity, an act of kindness, an act of generosity, or even just friendliness, to stop and think, wow, I feel content, or I feel happy about that, or I feel grateful.
Or even just to say, that was nice. Because to go from, sometimes when people don't use the practice of gratitude and then they want to start, it can be very challenging to be grateful or blessed or happy. It can be, oh, that was nice. It was okay.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be, I love it. It can be, I like it.
Right. Right.
So
It doesn't have to be this monumental thing.
yeah, yeah. But if we have lots of it was nice, or it was okay, or it is okay, or I feel okay moment throughout the day, then cumulatively, it's easier to feel better throughout the day.
Absolutely. Absolutely. To feel content, or that was nice, or appreciative as many times, or 3 times as many times as you feel, a negative emotion. And, something that when people are beginning a gratitude practice, it can feel like, uh, well, I will say for myself, when I was learning how to integrate a gratitude practice into my life, the whole point of me integrating the practice was to change my life. I was unhappy. I was in an unhealthy place. And I didn't want to I couldn't settle for my life in the way that it was. And I wanted to change my life. And it was expressed to me that I should start using gratitude. And I was fearful that if I started to have appreciation for the way that I was currently living, that it would keep me stuck there, that it would be an acceptance. And I had a real fear around that because I didn't understand that to make a change out of your current situation, you have to start by raising your vibration, by getting grounded in gratitude, to start a practice of an expectation of something better with appreciation.
Right. To be okay with where you are now so you can change it. Because if you don't acknowledge where you are now, then how can you move on?
And how can you focus on what you truly want? you
Exactly.
know it's it's easy to think, well, I don't want this and I don't want that, but you can't build a life on what you don't want. You have to build your life on what you do want, and that's with acknowledging it, locating it, and making it a practice of gratitude to focus on it. Energy flows where intention goes, right?
Yeah. So I'm thinking about people that we see every day and they want to start practicing, or they think, oh, someone told them, or even us, we tell them, let's start using the tool of gratitude and appreciation
Yes.
to create a change. And I think for them, when I think about them, what the message we want to tell them that is not the fitting, because they can't feel immense gratitude to begin with. So how can they start feeling and practicing gratitude? Um, and what is the first step? So I would say just notice what you have around you.
Right. It's like deciding, it's choosing
Um, I,
to
I would
acknowledge
like
the
to take
thing.
it a step backward because,
Okay.
yeah, choosing is when you are um, intentionally in the practice, you choose to do it. But how do you even start it? If you break it down to even smaller portions, how do you start? Because for most people, it's not so easy to go inside and say, well, I have this and I feel that, and I have this connection and that connection, and it makes me feel happy. But sometimes it's not about going in, it's about starting from what you see in front of you, what you have, like you said, what you already have in your life.
Yeah.
And from there, maybe to go inside, to observe your uh, emotions, your feelings, and so on. But, when we start using gratitude, when I start using gratitude with someone, we say, like, okay, if you just take a moment in your day, it can be a split of a second, but you notice a flower that you haven't noticed before,
That's right.
this is where you can start. This is what, raising your vibration, as people love to say, right? Raising your
Yeah.
vibration, feeling better, um, feeling good.
Yes. Yes. And it's taking that pause. It's just taking a moment of pause, and you can do it all throughout your day. You can do it, as you take the first, sip or bite of something that is a flavor that you enjoy, or if a song that you appreciate comes on, and to take a pause and think about how you appreciate that thing, how much it is pleasurable to you, enjoyable. Or for me, with my walking, and I prefer trail walking with my dog. And so, often it's like we're on a time limit, or, we're trying to get our steps in, or and so it's easy to just do the walk, and at one point in the walk to actually pause and be just be in that place with, the trees, and even if it's raining, or to feel the air, you know, to take a pause and just feel that contentment, and just literally feeling lucky,
Yeah.
even if everything else outside of that moment is a storm of some sort, or, in that space, that tiny little space, there's a moment of a pause where I can feel this is nice.
And I think also, if you notice those moments, it's easier to recreate them in your mind later on, and your
I agree.
body will recreate the feeling that you had at that moment. So imagine we have a scale, and on one end we are um, ignorant of what's going on around us, and the other end we are grateful for
Yeah,
everything. So every time that we are here in the grateful feeling gratitude, feeling grateful for something, it's a moment we're not here, we're not ignorant. It's a moment of choice. So you talked about choice before, and spending more time in that side of it,
yeah,
it's a moment that will allow us to use choice later on.
that's right. That's right. I
Um,
agree.
so, how do we find gratitude when we are feeling defeated?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you know, it can be very hard. It's not easy to incorporate it to begin with, but there is always something, there's always something, something that you've experienced, something that has happened for you. There is always something in a moment that you can love, right? You can love something. And if you can love something, you can feel gratitude for it, whether that's a person, an animal, a living thing, an inanimate thing. There's always something that you love. And if you can love, and when you love something, even in the most trying of times, you can come up with something to feel grateful for.
So I want to again bring you to a different place again,
Yeah,
because when someone is feeling defeated now, well, you're practicing gratitude for many years, same with me, so we can understand what it means loving something. But when someone is feeling defeated, to tell them that, what did you love today? It can be
right.
like, oh, what did you mean? But I think what you mean by that, knowing you and knowing our ongoing discussions we have, it's something that felt okay, nice. Someone holding the door for you, letting you go in. It's nice. I mean, it's
Right.
not the best thing that can happen to you, but it's nice. Someone is being kind to you.
Yes.
Um, running late and finding out that you're not actually late. That's nice,
Right.
right? Um, having a meal ready for you, or actually making a meal for yourself,
Yep.
taking care of yourself when you don't feel like it, going on a walk when you don't feel like it, changing, moving, shifting energy uh,
Yep.
in your
Having a
body.
bath or a shower.
Yeah, exactly. Cleaning. This is like listening to music,
Yes. Yes.
talking to a friend, to family member that you like, um, playing with your pet,
Yes.
noticing that you have electricity in your home, or that you actually have a home to be in.
A home, that you have food,
Yeah,
that there is, yeah, taking it to the smallest thing, a flavor that you appreciate,
yeah.
the
A
softness of,
memory that,
maybe your favorite sweater or your comfort blankie or
yeah, or
anything
even,
in of your five senses that you can appreciate.
and even remembering a time in your life that you felt good. And again, yes, it was in the past, but you are bringing it up to the surface, meaning you are experiencing some part of it again.
That's right. I actually I call that PJS, uh, post joy syndrome, when you are able to, or you spontaneously are triggered to experience a moment from your past that was so enjoyable that there's a smile and a pause inside of you about recognizing that time or that event or that feeling or that person.
So when we talk about this, what we're actually doing when we are doing all of that, like PJS, or or feeling something or noticing something, what we're actually doing is what everyone refers to as raising vibrations,
Yes.
right? Because, and we'll talk about it more, but in another time. But if we want to attract something, we need to have a matching vibration.
Yes.
And if we are feeling defeated, this is what we are attracting to. More of
That's
that same.
that's right. Yeah. Um, the universe is reading your energy and meeting you there.
Yeah.
The practice of law of attraction isn't, it isn't something that you choose to do. You are always participating in the law of attraction. You are constantly attracting, intent, intentionally or not, you are attracting. So if you are at a low vibration, that's what you continue to attract. You have to, as they say, fake it till you make it. You have to, if you want to change, if you're happy just staying at the vibration you're at, then, keep doing what you've always done and you'll keep getting what you've always got. But if you're ready to change, or if you're desperate for a change, like I was when I came to the practice of gratitude, when I was feeling defeated and that I was potentially looking at a lifetime of what I had already, which was unsatisfactory to me. And I felt defeated. And it was suggested to me that I have to feel gratitude to make a change. And I thought, grateful for what? I hate my life. How how am I supposed to feel? And if I feel grateful for this, is that what I will continue to get? No, if you stay stuck in that, that is what you will continue to get. When you start to think, what am I grateful for? Well, um, I had a daughter who I loved with my whole heart, and I felt defeated that I was failing her, that I wasn't providing for her the way I wanted to, that we were stuck in a situation, But when I took it down, I was grateful for my daughter. My love for her was unconditional. And I could start with that. Well, what do I love? I love that we have these books. We read books. I love our story times. She was so little and it was such a connection for us. I love when we laugh, and just expanding and expanding. And then as the practice grows and the universe starts to meet you in a new location, there are so many more things every day to be grateful for.
Yeah. So let's keep this discussion going and talk about it again.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
So until next time.
Until next time. Thank you,
Bye.
Miri.
Thank
Bye.
you, Neota. Bye.